This sode would not be possible without the support of our listeners, patrons, and sponsors. If you'd like to learn more about supporting the 3-Bit Gamer Show, check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/3bg. And a huge thanks goes out to our boss-level patrons, Christopher and Patrick.
So I think we should go all bizarro on this week's intro.
Yeah, how?
Like, well, you know how JD usually writes some super bleak intro?
Yeah.
And he usually has so many lines.
Too many lines.
So we just cut him out entirely and make it super positive.
How do you think we should make it super positive?
I already told you. We would cut out JD entirely.
Oh, man.
Get out!
Out,
JD!
You've just logged into the 3-Bit Gamer Show.
Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
And Aaron.
And you assholes can cut me out of the intro, but I'm not going anywhere.
It's all right, man. We love you.
Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news.
All right, so
news
this
week
week our news is brought to us by... Hey, I'm cutting you out, JD.
Dude, it's alarming how well you were able to mimic exactly what I was going to say when I said it. We are, guys, not even in the same room together. This is eerie. We got a news segment. We're going to do it. It's sponsored by Crave Cookies. Yeah, see, Peterson, I'm mixing it up on you. Crave Cookies, this awesome cookie shop here in Salt Lake City. And they have Uber Eats and DoorDash. So if you need cookies delivered to your door at, 9 at night, like I did the other week, that they can accommodate. They have a rotating cookie menu that's absolutely incredible. Right now on their menu is the Fluffernutter cookie, which is a peanut butter dough stuffed with Reese's chips, marshmallows, and Nutter Butter chunks. And then they stuff the whole thing with marshmallow fluff. And then they just plop a Nutter Butter on top just for good measure. Mm-hmm. They got a mega stuffed Oreo, the Chewy Churro that Peterson's been obsessed with, the Rockstar, which has pretzels in it. Like, come on. So check them out. They're you can find them at cravecookies.com. Okay, on to the news, guys. This is an ongoing story. I love tracking this. It's like our video game business insider podcast. We're so professional, Peterson. Can you feel it?
Dude, I can feel it. I feel more professional. I feel that's why I'm wearing my suit today. So
I put my collar down. It was popped earlier. It down now. I'm a fucking adult.
My red Fred Durst baseball cap is turned forward.
It's pointing forward because I mean business. There was some Fred Durst news. We won't get into it. You guys, if you want the latest scoop on the Durst, you have to find us on Discord. You can search for us in Discord, 3-Bit Gamer Show, because we have a separate channel in our Discord dedicated just to Durst news.
Durst alert.
Name another video game podcast that brings you that.
I love
Name
the Dumbledore's
any podcast
picture.
that brings you that.
Thank you, Silverthorn. That's awesome.
Dude, the sources that I find these Fred Durst stories on are so funny. They're the most low-key, tiny little music blogs you could ever imagine. And they're generally like, hey, we found this quote from Fred Durst from a 1999 article in Pitchfork magazine, and we're running it. This is our news for the day. I'm sorry. I got way off track. What we're really tracking is Apple's ongoing war with Epic Games, the guys that bring you Fortnite and nothing else. Apple is cut off Epic from all Mac and iOS development tools. So if you guys are unfamiliar, generally when you have a platform, whether it's a phone or a console, and you have people that are developing software for it, you give them developer tools, developer kits, different resources that you only trust to certified developers for your platform. So basically what Apple is doing here is because Epic instituted in-game purchases that circumvented Apple's 30% cut on all in-app purchases, Apple has decided to rescind all of Epic Games dev tools for Mac and iOS.
Oh, man.
But here is what's been buried. This is the thing that was buried. They are cutting off all of Epic Games. So you think, oh, cool. Well, they can't do Fortnite. They can't do Infinity Blade, which is absolutely insane because Infinity Blade was actually featured in a keynote, an Apple keynote with Steve Jobs standing right fucking there, man. And this is the same company that's going at it with Apple now. And here's the big news, though, is that Epic Games also includes the Unreal Engine. And every game that runs on it, every software that program that is on iOS or Mac OS that runs on Unreal Engine now no longer has support. So if there are bugs or if there are issues in the next update for iOS, those and they have compatibility issues with whatever the latest version of Unreal Engine is, they're shit out of luck because there's nobody to update the engine. So this could very well just break. However many games, I think there's hundreds, if not thousands of games utilizing the Unreal Engine that are on iOS right now and Mac OS. This extends to, if you guys remember, some people actually game on Mac. And there are a ton of games, like you think that just wider appeal games, like, I don't know, Fortnite, that literally will not be able to run on the Mac OS, period, because of this decision.
This is crazy.
Insane.
Who is this hurting more?
Dude, this is like you get shot in the arm and you cut your arm off. You're like, there's no more fucking bullet wound, man. That
Bullet
sucked.
wound
I didn't want to
gone.
deal with the bullet wound, so I just cut my whole arm off. You're like, well, you lost a bunch of other stuff with that. They're like, yeah, and the bullet. So
Yeah, but where's the
Yeah.
bullet? Can you see
where's
the
the bullet now, bitch?
Exactly. You shoot me.
They just went nuclear, dude. I
This
don't
is
even think,
wild.
like, it's absolutely crazy. If you read the release here, this is a court filing from Epic Games as the plaintiff against Apple as the defendant, and they clearly lay out that anything that uses Unreal Engine,
My goodness.
including the Unreal Engine Epic offers to third-party developers, which Apple has never claimed violated any Apple policy. Not content simply to remove Fortnite. This is from the statement. Not to content simply to remove Fortnite from the App Store, Apple is attacking Epic's entire business in unrelated areas. They
My
say Epic is
gosh.
likely to succeed on the merits of its claims, but without an injunction, Epic will be irreparably harmed long before the final judgment comes. The idea being that Apple is thinking, well, we'll just bleed them out. We will just impact a significant chunk of their business by cutting them off, and they won't be able. And by the way, if you don't have access to those dev tools for a month or two, like, you are playing catch up as a software developer. As everyone up the line, you're playing catch up to try to figure out what you need to fix now, what bugs Apple has implemented in their latest iOS updates. Dude, this is unbelievable. The war is, it's a war, you guys.
This is officially the gauntlet has been dropped. This is going down, and in the end, I think they'll just make the decision that makes them both, billions of dollars anyway.
Right.
But this seems like an unnecessary step to get there.
Well, I like that Google jumped on board with this. This is like Apple declares war on Epic and Fortnite, and Google's like, yeah, fuck you guys. We're at war too. And then Apple's first act of war is nuking them. And Google's sitting there like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, hey.
That's what we're doing? We're nuking right away?
Are we doing this?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Google, to my knowledge, Google hasn't said or done shit. Google's just sitting back like, holy shit, are you fucking kidding me? I thought we were just kicking Fortnite off the store. We're doing this now?
Dude.
Unreal Engine?
It's like, are we going to press the button? Oh, we already did.
Our
they're in
finger
the
never
air
left
right
the
now.
button. We declared war with the button depressed, and then once we finished, we lifted our finger. Done.
I don't know if you saw this, but Microsoft is they're not like in it, but they did make a statement. They're siding with Epic, and Microsoft is like, "What are you guys doing?"
Microsoft's what's the game that Microsoft has that's running on the Unreal Engine right now? Oh God, they have quite a few, but there's a ton. Like, Microsoft.
Well, I mean, Windows. Everything runs on Windows.
Oh, Gears
right?
of War. All of Gears of War runs on the Unreal Engine. So Gears of War is going to be hit by this.
This is big.
You got Bless Online. Yeah, Microsoft. I don't know how big that is, but yeah, all the Gears of War. Crazy.
I mean, but if Microsoft, if Microsoft came out and said, no, you can't run your program on our operating system anymore, I mean, that would kill anybody, right? Because most PC gamers are using a Windows computer, right? I mean, gamers don't use Apple computers. It's such a small segment, but everyone's using Microsoft products. So yeah, I mean, Microsoft, of course, is way deeper into gaming, I'd say, than Apple is. But this seems like a big relationship to like skewer right when Apple's really making a push to get into gaming with the what's it called, their subscription service on mobile.
So the new System Shock would be out. That's just out. Like, that's the thing, is it seems like so short-sighted.
It's wild. Don't try to tell us what to do, Epic.
I know, seriously. It's like, yeah, you think you can play with us? Well, watch what we... It's like... It would be like if America started every war with a nuke just because we could. Like, yeah, Apple, we get that you have, like, unreasonable amounts of power to influence digital marketplaces, but maybe you shouldn't just drop a bomb to start every single negotiation. You're like, well, now what are we going to do? Okay, so another corporate story. I love these. This is a good one. Maybe my favorite company in the world right now. Facebook. You guys know I love fucking Facebook.
Big fan.
Dude, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that the upstanding gentleman running Facebook lied to us.
Zuck? No, he doesn't lie.
Zuck lied to us, dude. It's so weird. You remember when he bought Oculus and he said, "Oh man, it's going to be totally separate. We're just using it like we just kind of want to own this company because it's cool, but it's not going to be like Oculus Facebook or like Facebook VR, man. Like, don't even worry about it." No, it's Facebook VR. You have to, if you buy a new Oculus headset and you are like me and you don't have a Facebook account, they will force you. You are forced before you can use your headset to create a Facebook account.
Why, dude? They're separate, aren't they?
Nah, man. We didn't say that. What are you fucking talking about? We never said that. We were like, so we're going to buy Oculus. It's going to be eventually folded into Facebook VR. Oculus name will get just dropped. You know, it's like whatever. No, they have said, they have claimed that legacy Oculus accounts will work until later next year. So they've got a deadline. Like, what's the point? Like, are you giving me 2 years to sell my Oculus? Like, what is the purpose of that? It's just like pushing it down the road, at which point they will force you to do it. Because I don't know. I guess Palmer Luckey, whatever the fuck his last name is, the guy who founded Oculus in his garage, lied as well. But who wouldn't lie for $2 billion?
Yes. Yeah, he doesn't have a great background. Facebook has just been skewered. And you know why they want you to have your Facebook account logged in, hooked up to your Oculus, because your Oculus has a camera on it and you're looking around the house. Dude, they gotta get that info.
Well, dude, the other thing that's more insidious, and we've always learned that Facebook and insidious go hand in hand, especially when it comes to your personal and private data. You know they're data mining people's eye motions and eye tracking, because they can then use that raw data of millions and millions of people with VR headsets to plug into their ad algorithms to decide where on the page your eye is most likely to be drawn toward ads. and how long it stays on the ads, what colors your eyes respond best to. This is just nonstop raw data about your eye movements being sent to Facebook's ad people. Holy Christ. We're living in cyberpunk times, you guys, and it's so fucking boring.
This is what's going to happen. You're sitting in your living room with your Oculus headset on. You're looking around in VR. It's actually looking around your living room and scanning what you don't have. So your ad's going to be like, "Hey, I noticed you don't have a 4K television yet," and it's going to be popping that up in your. Dude, your chair looks a little old. We scanned it and we realized it is a 2006 model. You want an upgrade? Dude, this is what it's going to be. We
saw that you don't own the season 8 DVD box set for Game of Thrones. We went ahead and pre-purchased it for you.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Yeah, nobody owns season 8.
Dude, that's the future we're getting to. That's like the goal of Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg is that you literally don't ever buy anything. They decide when
orders.
You get or need something and then auto order and send it to you. And it just shows up and you're like, oh, yeah. I guess. I have 6 tubes.
You can return it.
I have 6 tubes of toothpaste, but I'm sure the algorithm is right in sending me 6 more. The algorithm, we have to trust the algorithm. How about some good news? This is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
We're going to get some action for co-op trolling now. Untitled Goose Game, that amazing indie title from last year, has announced a 2-player mode that's coming out later this year.
That'll be fun.
I think it's going to be a good litmus test for relationships because, I think you should play this, honestly, everybody should play this on a first date. Like, you take your first date home. No, fuck it. Don't make anyone uncomfortable. Do this in your coffee shop during your first date. Bring your Switch, set it up, and you guys can sit there and play Untitled Goose Game 2 and see if you're both sociopaths.
No, this is how you. Yeah, this is blind date stuff. You show up.
Yeah.
There is a partner 1 and a partner 2 controller. You match up and you just start playing, and then you look over the little partition and you're like, I really like this playing with you, or I hated you. And
or you are a psychopath.
Let's continue this date over a cup of coffee over at table 9. That's
a brief refresh.
Dude, we just invented new
last
business?
year. I think so. It's called Untitled Goose Tinder. We're just going to rip off everything, and who gives a shit? Because laws don't matter anymore. I'm stoked. I love crime. I love doing crime. So Untitled Goose Game last year was this goose simulator where you tormented local people in a small England village. Yes, a small
It felt like
English
a French village to me.
A small French village, whatever. It's all over there. Some village over there. And you just torment these poor people, and that's like the gameplay. And so being able to play this with 2 people would probably reveal some qualities of the person you're playing with. That might be, but you work together. You can see in the trailer, like one duck will honk at the farmer, and then while he's distracted, the other goose will go steal something from him. It looks so effing funny.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, it looks great.
I never played the first one. So
you got to play it.
It's fine.
It's just good fun. It's just good fun. It's not going to change your life, but you'll love it.
I love your business model. Honestly, it's kind of like the Westworld model. Like, you bring all these people to the park, right? And then you let them play out their deepest, darkest desires, and then you turn that data against them. We do the same thing with Untitled Goose Game 2. Like, we just track how people torment the poor farmer, and then we just turn that against them.
Dude, I'm in.
Nice.
Let's do this.
I think it sounds like I think it will make a mint. Why don't you guys do this
Wait,
next one?
hold on.
I've only seen one of these trailers. What?
Can you guys hear? Is someone listening in? I think Zuckerberg heard us say that, and he said, wait, data mining? And he's in. Zuck, get off the call.
You in, Zuck? No. You don't even have to invite him. He's just on all calls, always. He's like,
you mentioned anything about tracking?
That you hear?
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
Being all weird.
Has a Zencaster
Quit being
integration.
So weird, Zuck. You're creepy. Your creepy little face.
You're creepy.
little hobbit head.
Wait, are we roasting Mark Zuckerberg right now? Because I'm
sounds
in
like
for
it.
it. Let's do it. Let's fucking just pause this podcast and talk about that robot data looking motherfucker and everything that's wrong with him and his company.
And his hair. What is
And his
your
hair?
You have $1 billion, and that's the hair you're going with?
It's like you've never seen Sheldon Adelson's hair. That guy is like $26 billion. He looks like a homeless guy that just fell off a truck. Sorry, we're roasting. Well, I'm in roast mode right now. You guys do this next one. I need to think of more roasts.
He's Googling Mark Zuckerberg roast right now.
Dude, I got my little notepad out. Like Harriet the Spy of roasting.
So let's see. Last week we had DC Fandom, which was not on my radar, but actually seemed like a pretty cool event. But they announced a couple games that actually look really good. The first one is it's called Gotham Knights. It's going to be made by WB Games Montreal. I was talking to Aaron before this. Like, what kind of game is this? Because they just showed like a teaser trailer. I think that's all I saw. It was just kind of it just kind of teased the game about the characters you can play. So the characters, let's see. I don't know these characters very well. You can play so the story is Batman is dead. And so you're playing as, do you know all their names? There's I'm trying to look it up.
Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Shark.
We're talking about Batman, man.
We're talking about Batman first.
Oh shit!
That's Suicide Squad.
That's it, JD.
I only watched one trailer. I alady told you this.
He's
trying to be helpful.
He's Googling Zuckerberg.
Off the chain.
There's so many pictures of him.
Dude, stop looking at pictures. Okay, it's Batgirl, Nightwing, Robin. Let's see. There was one more good one. Anyway, but you're playing as non-Batman.
Red Hood.
Red Hood. That was the one I was trying to think of.
Red Riding Hood.
You're playing as non-Batman characters. It looks interesting, I'd say, because it's a Batman game, but not Batman, right? Which we've had a bunch. People have been pining for another Batman game, but I kind of like the direction DC is going of Gotham games, but not Batman himself, because the next game that they announced was the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So in this one, you're playing as, JD has the list of characters here. This is Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang. It's a co-op, which is always cool. It looks like an action adventure type of game. But at the end of the trailer, evil Superman shows up. Like he's holding
and
some
just like roast, a pilot that he saved from a falling helicopter.
Yeah, dude, he straight up pulls a what's the guy on The Boys? The main bad
Homelander?
guy. Yeah, he pulls a Homelander and just like roasts this guy with his laser eyes. And so Superman's like the bad guy. He is the protagonist or the antagonist in this game. For some reason, I was like, that doesn't sound right.
It depends how you look at life,
I don't think that sounds wrong. As I'm saying it, it sounds wrong.
So he plays the antagonist in the game, and so this looks really cool. I wasn't a big fan of the Suicide Squad movie. The second one looks interesting. This game looks interesting, so I'm going to be watching these.
And none of these have connections to any established IP. That is, Gotham Knights is not like an extension of the Arkham Asylum or Arkham.
It's not like it's not a sequel.
The
or
Rocksteady games. No, it's not a sequel. It's something entirely different. And the same thing, that Suicide Squad has nothing to do with the film, as far as I know, as well.
No.
It's just going off of the Yeah, just a comic.
Yeah, so dude, I'm stoked. I love Kill Superman. That's a cool thing. Every single time you're trying to kill Superman, it's because he's gone rogue in some dumb DC thing, but you're always playing as heroes. So it's cool to go at it from the Suicide Squad angle,
like the anti-hero.
And dude,
people that actually
trailer...
people that want to kill Superman instead of people that are like, oh, I just want to save him or figure out what's going on with him. No, I like killing him.
And
what were you saying?
Seriously, that was probably one of the best looking trailers that I've seen. Just like graphically,
I would watch a whole movie.
Holy crap! Yeah, for sure.
All I was thinking was like, dude, I don't think you'd lose a lot of viewers. Just like you didn't lose a lot of viewers with Into the Spider-Verse if you made animated movies of that quality, and it would save you a lot of money on all the other CGI and bullshit to make it look real. You could just like make it computer animated. I thought it was great. I thought it was incredible.
Can I just say, I think my least favorite superhero is Superman. And I instantly judge people who are Superman fans. Because he's too lame. His story's not good. He's too OP. It's like, I'm not interested in that. Give me somebody who can get his butt kicked by not some stupid method.
Rock.
He has to have his weakness or something. No, a guy who can get punched in the face by anybody and it will hurt, right? That's who I want. And yeah, I do judge. I'm sorry if any of our listeners are like wearing the big S on their chest and stuff. I judge people who are big Superman fans.
Hates you.
Come at me. Join our Discord channel, and you can yell at me all you want.
Got some words for you.
So there's actually a really cool Superman storyline. It's called Superman: The Red Sun.
Oh, so we found our
Kansas. I rock a Superman tee every once in a while. Get off me.
Red Sun is sick, and that's a game I would want to play.
So yeah, he instead of landing in Kansas, he lands in the Ukraine during World War II.
Oh my gosh!
And so he fights for Stalin, basically, at the beginning, and then I think he ends up turning good at one point. But
Eastern European Superman is not good. I can tell you that right now.
No. I does Superman go good? I feel like Superman just
the comic. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie.
I forgot there's a movie, but that would be a dope ass game. I thought Red Sun was really cool. Okay, last bit of news. This is more cool game stuff. Stuff coming out. I'm here for it. I'm glad that we got some more game news to talk about, like releases instead of like horrific things being done behind the curtains of game studios. Yeah, like I'm tired of covering those stories. So, Lord of the Rings Gollum teaser trailer. So I guess they announced or they released some screenshots for this game like 6 months ago, and there was a little bit of buzz, but no one really knew what to expect. And the teaser trailer kind of gives you an idea more of the art style.
But you still have no idea what's going on.
This is the game nobody asked for, but we're all like scratching our heads and kind of interested.
I'm super interested. Game? I am so tired of playing the same protagonist. I've told you this. Like, I just want something different. The grizzled white dude with a beard in his like 30s that lost someone close to him and is on a quest to blah blah. I don't give a fuck. I want to play as Gollum. I want to play as this evil, raw fish eating, fucked up, 1,000-year-old whatever thing he is. That's what I want to play as.
So what would you want to do in a Gollum game, JD?
Just do riddles. If you remember from, there's going to be riddles. There's going to be riddles.
Bunch of puzzles.
You write them yourself. You make your own riddles for hobbits. No, I mean, you remember reading in The Hobbit out, he was pretty effing scary. He choked orcs to death and like ate them and stuff. So it's a stealth game, and if you watch it, they've kind of leaned. It's a little more cartoony. The art style is. Some people might complain it's too cartoony, but I don't know. I just want something fresh, man. Gollum's fresh. That's funky fresh, and quite frankly, as long as they don't go the route of making Shell Bob into like some sex symbol, whatever the hell that was. Dude, good God.
Shelob turning into a sexy spider. Sexy spider.
Can't even be like a disgusting, fat, bulbous spider. It's like a sexy woman with huge boobs. It is.
Yeah.
Dude. That grosses me out. So as long as
I just want
Gollum doesn't have like a sexy past.
I want to start as Smeagol and
He's just a
choke out
moonlight as
Deagle.
like a trooper.
Just
That's how you
choke him
start,
out
is mashing your 2 triggers to choke out Deagle.
for the
That
ring.
sounds fucking sick. That would be cool. And then the next scene, you're like trying to catch a raw fish, but you're not like full Gollum, so it's a little harder.
Fishing. It has fishing for
Peterson,
you.
It's gonna have fishing in it.
Yeah. It will.
You're
And
in.
It'll be definitely different, but I'm in. If they can nail the fishing, this game is going to get a 2 thumbs up.
If they can nail the fish. So from context clues, apparently everyone thinks this is going to happen in the years between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. That's when all the action happens. That's when Gollum's captured and released and breaks his way out and all this other shit happens and he just starts hiding in Mordor. So I think that's where they'll focus, but they could do a full Gollum story, I guess. That's a lot of time to cover.
Dude, it's random
doubt they'll
too.
do
I'm
that.
telling you, this is the game no one asked for, but we're all kind of like, all right, why not? I'm in.
Yeah,
see
like
what you
give me a
got.
Harry Potter game where I play as Dobby. Just
You're a house
something
elf.
different,
Just,
man. Yeah.
You're just,
Just like whiny the whole time.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just different.
Dude, a
I
Dobby
just want
like.
some different
Give me a Dobby
Dobby
like.
like games. And it'll spawn a new type of game called Dobby likes. Shit. Let's move on. This is going nowhere. All right, Kudos is our positivity segment. We like to give a shout out to something we're loving. And as of yesterday, I am obsessed with Pistol Whip for the PSVR. I think it's actually on everything, any VR system. It's called Pistol Whip. It's an on-rails shooter rhythm game. So it genuinely feels like the scenes in a John Wick movie where he's just like moving through a building, clearing everyone out meticulously and just like ruthlessly and quickly. You're just kind of on a rail. You guys know how VR works, and you're just sliding forward essentially, and enemies are popping out of the sides and the above you and below you. They're all over the place, and you just shoot them. Just like an arcade shooter, like an on-rails arcade shooter you played in an arcade in the 90s at a movie theater. But it's in VR. It's super responsive. The setup of each level is like a movie, so much so that when you select the level select is movie posters that look very similar to like movie posters from existing movies. And there's like obviously a cool soundtrack song that goes along with each one, and you're shooting people in the rhythm. You don't have to, but it helps you get points, and it helps you kind of just like stay on track when guys are appearing. And so, for example, the beat might go duh, and you have to shoot the guy in front of you 4 times because he's like a heavily armored soldier. So if you're following the beat and you know that 4 beats coming up, you know you have to shoot 4 times. It's so cool. The one level I played that I was absolutely over the moon about, it was a Dia de los Muertos level. And if James Bond has taught us anything, it's that any action scene set during a Dia de los Muertos parade is going to be awesome. Ooh, also Once Upon a Time in Mexico had a great scene set on that. Yeah, so it's dope, you guys.
I feel like you're having a real hard time saying Dia de los Muertos.
I am. I'm
I don't know
struggling
why.
with it every single time. I shouldn't have picked that level. I should have highlighted the level that was like a disco level. I can say disco a lot. I can say disco like 5 times.
A Dixo level.
Fuck! You're right.
Oh,
I can't say disco 5 times.
Yeah, no, this game is like like Beat Saber is Star Wars, like with lightsabers.
Yes.
This is the John Wick version.
Beat Saber
of
with
that.
guns.
Yeah.
And if you guys have played shooters in VR and sometimes they're not as responsive or they're kind of annoying, this game definitely, it has, I wouldn't say a ton of correction, but as much correction as you would expect in like, when you play Call of Duty, like the campaign on any difficulty and you aim towards someone, and when you start to fire, it does kind of auto lock on them a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of auto lock, which makes you feel super cool because then you get to keep feeling like John Wick, and you're not missing guys, just like a bullet's going right by their head. Oh, and another thing is you can dodge their bullets too. You have to dodge incoming bullets and incoming walls, and you have to duck undercover and stuff. So like you're dodging bullets, you're shooting and stuff, and you're reloading. You like point down like you would in Area 51. Like
you can dodge a bullet, you can dodge a ball. You almost said all the D's.
Dodge. That movie holds up,
duck,
by the way. Dodge, duck,
you dive, you dip,
dip, and dodge. Do you guys have any kudos, or do you want to move on?
I don't have any.
I'm good.
This week sucked.
Cool.
Just kidding.
This week, everything sucked this week.
Dear Game Devs. Dear Game Devs. Dear Game Devs.
All right, Dear Game Devs is not the segment we're doing right now, so I hope you didn't just listen to that clip. This is actually Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So, Peterson, I hope you played the right clip.
I didn't.
Good. I don't know what's going to happen. He hits the editing bay, and then I listen on Tuesday morning with the rest of you guys. I never know what Peterson Productions is up to. Those guys are crazy.
Dude, we're nuts over here.
Just a bunch of little dobbies running
We're
around.
nuts over here. So, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is our fun segment where we talk about a specific element of games, what we think is awesome, what we think is bad, and what we think is about it. So this week, because I have been playing this weekend, I downloaded Subnautica on Peterson's recommendation because it's on Xbox Game Pass, which we have to plug contractually every single episode. Xbox Games Pass, brought to you by Xbox Games Pass. So
Such
Subnautica,
a good value, man. Such a good value.
Oh, Aaron, it's okay. We've filled enough airtime. We've covered our contract.
No, I already mentioned how Microsoft joined Epic. So we've already talked about Microsoft. We talked bad about Apple and Facebook. So we're good.
Facebook.
We're good.
Oh, so we're on the Epic train. Oh.
I guess we're pro Fortnite now. That's our jam.
Yeah. I live that.
So I was playing Subnautica, which if you guys played it last year, I'm way late to the party. It's a underwater survival game. You crash land on a ocean planet, and you have to scavenge and scrape and build and collect and research and find your way to, I don't know, off the planet. I don't know. I haven't figured that quite out yet. I'm still just running scared shitless through the water.
Still scared to go
swimming. Dude, these monsters scare the bejesus out of me. I am always like just running away. I spent like 10 minutes just like floating 200 meters above these, what I thought were like ferocious dragon monsters. And then finally, after I Googled it, I realized they were like these harmless jellyfish that don't do anything. But it didn't matter. I spent 20 minutes just being just filling my scuba suit with urine. Yeah, it scared the bejesus out of me. Anyway, so long story short, though, however, I downloaded it on Saturday and then promptly played the game for 13 straight hours. So I'd like to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of getting sucked into games, which I think especially now with the quarantine and everyone's cooped up at home, I think people might be getting sucked into games more often. I know I got sucked into Undermine. Peterson, you're still sucked into that?
Yeah, still going.
And Aaron briefly was sucked into it before he got burned out. So I want to talk good, the bad, and the ugly of getting sucked into games. Who wants to kick us off with a good?
Dude, I'll kick us off. Mostly so you guys don't steal mine. So if I steal yours, you got to come up with a different one. No, the good part about when you find that game that just really clicks, it hits all the right notes at the moment. Because for me, I'm very, I feel like I have a craving. I'm jonesing for a game type, and if I get the right game, I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm gonna get real sucked in. The good part about that is then going like online and finding the community of people who also love that game as much as you do. The group that got sucked in just as bad as you did. And when you find the good group, because there's always the guys who are burnt out or the guys who are too hardcore and it's the internet, so there's always people talking crap about stuff. But when you find the good group that just really appreciates it the way you do, I love that, because then they'll help you when you get stuck. They're giving you insights into things you didn't know. Like, for example, with Undermine, I didn't find a group because this isn't that type of game for me where I would go look up a group. But like JD and I and Aaron, we're all talking about it and we're learning different things about the game. That's what these groups are good for. So just finding that community of people who are also as equally obsessed with the game as you are.
I love that. Aaron, what's your bad?
What's my bad?
Yeah.
I'd probably have to say, so this is real life. So playing a video game, so I played both Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster over the weekend because I like those types of games
He likes
a lot.
planets.
And I would probably have to say not doing what I should have done all weekend, which is yard work.
That's
so,
too hot for that, dude.
like-
I did yard work for 2 hours on Saturday.
yard work,
Thought I was going to die. Was exhausted. Not worth it, man. It's too hot outside.
Nope.
Well, and that's what I did. I did some beekeeping on Saturday. I like sweat through all my clothes, and I was just like, "That's it. I'm just gonna go play video games for the rest of the weekend."
Smart.
That's how I made my decision.
So I would say that's probably the bad. But I mean, I love Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster. It's just good, wholesome gaming for me.
Nice. So I'll go with an ugly. I have a couple ugly ones. I think it's kind of ugly when you're sucked into a game not because you love it, but because you need to beat it.
Uh-oh.
I feel like I have a very obsessive nature about certain things. And sometimes, like, I was playing what is that? Super Hot. I was playing Super Hot VR on PSVR with Jenna, and like she's like, why don't you try this level? And my thing about VR is I can play it for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depend if it's like Skyrim. Like Skyrim's kind of problematic because I get sucked into it and I get headaches because I'm playing it too long. And that's what happened with Super Hot is I had to beat this level even though I at this point wasn't really having a ton of fun. I was just grinding and I was getting a fucking headache and I was like, I couldn't stop. So yes, I was sucked into the game and I was sucked in because I wanted to beat it. And so I think there's an element of the game that's really scratching an itch for me. But I wasn't sucked in because I loved it. I wasn't like, I'm having such a good time. It was like I ripped off what I couldn't. I failed, spoiler alert, to beat this level. And when I couldn't, I just ripped off the headset and was like, fuck this, and like stormed off. So I was sucked in, but it is not the good kind of sucked in.
Oh, dude, that's the worst when you keep playing because you're like, I can do this. I can do this, to try to convince yourself you can do something. And those types of games are the worst.
That's what I kept saying.
No, dang it. Well, I got this. And you're not even having fun anymore. It's not like
you
a
say one more than
where
you
you're
do
like,
5.
oh, this is fun. You're like getting pissed off as you play. Peterson,
Yeah, no,
idiot. Why did you do that again? You can do
one more, just one more. I think I can do that guy. I can get that guy this time. It's fine. It's fine. Peterson, do you have just grab bag, whatever you want to do, good, bad, or ugly?
Okay, so the bad for me is this happens to me more often than not. I'll be into a game, like really playing a game hard, really liking it, getting maybe in the last quarter of the game, right? And then I'm just like, I'm going to try out this other game because I'm going to take a little break, and then I get sucked in to a game, and it always pulls me out of the game I was currently playing, which is a big reason why I don't finish a lot of games, because so that's my bad. Getting sucked into one game usually pulls me out of another game that I was enjoying. But then when I go out of a game, I rarely go back to it unless it's got like high replayability, like Rocket League like FTL.
No Man's Sky, you fucking addict.
No,
you went back to that one.
No, I only went one time to No Man's Sky. No, it's like those Into the Breach, Slay the Spire, like those games that I can just. Those are the games I always go back to.
Easy to hop
But
into.
if I, like, for example, I'm going to feel bad admitting this. I didn't finish The Last of Us because I just got distracted by another game. And now I'm like, oh, man, do I go back to it? It's so hard for me to go back. And that happens to me all the time. I have a million games, especially those bigger ones, that I didn't finish because I got distracted, got sucked into something else. And I just never finished a great game.
Yeah, I think it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's the sad reality of it. I never finished God of War, and there's no chance in hell I'm going back. I also never finished Horizon Zero Dawn.
Well, a lot of those games you can't really just jump back in because you've picked up new moves, and you're like, if you jump back in, you're like, how do the last time I played The Last of Us, I jumped back in. And I was like, I don't know how to reload my gun. Something as stupid as that.
Are all
I was
janky.
clicking all the buttons, and I was like, how come I can't reload my gun? This is so dumb. Like, I was not having a good time anymore because I don't know. It just, and that's how God of War is. That's how Horizon Zero Dawn is. If you don't play it for a long time, you're going to forget.
I think we've talked about this before, but games mean an adult gamer mode setting where it's like, hey, I noticed you haven't played the game for 18 months. Here's a refresher on all the moves you need to do. Here's all the five most recent items you picked up and what they do. And here is a recap of the story up to this point.
Oh, I would love that.
That'd be amazing.
I really would.
Nice. Aaron, what's a good for you?
Good. I would have to say, getting sucked into a game really allows you to kind of almost master that game, or get so familiar with it that you feel like you have a good grasp on how to play. So for a lot of the simulation games, like kind of go back to Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster. It's the more time you invest, you feel like you have a better grasp on how the mechanics, the game, the economy works.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up having a better experience because you're able. The knowledge. It's easier for you, right?
Well, those types of games, like those are the ones where you start playing it and you're like, oh, okay, now I figured it out. And then you just scrap what you did and start over because now you get it, right? And I do that every time I get sucked into any of those simulation type of games. I start my game and I make a million mistakes, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to make a new city or new zoo or whatever it is and start over and be smart about it this time now that I understand the rules, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's my good.
Nice. So I will go with a bad. For me, there are so many bad things about getting sucked into a game. And as you get older and more grown up, which is a nightmare, by the way, no one told me it was coming. The more responsibilities you have before. I know. They all looked so unburdened by responsibility, but little did I know they were just faking. Yeah, everyone's just fucking
gonna
faking.
Be me,
Spoiler alert,
idiots.
kids. Any of you kids that are listening to this podcast, sorry in advance. So yeah, that's the biggest thing is when you have to shirk, or when you find that you have, like Aaron said, shirked a responsibility, like, I was supposed to work in the yard. My biggest one is when you stay up too late because you've lost track of time. I was up to like 3 playing Subnautica. And it wasn't like I was doing one more place or one more this, or like, oh, it's only 2, so I can do, I can float over here and do this mission. Honestly, thought never crossed my mind. It was like the first time I checked my phone since I had started playing, it was 3 a.m. And I was like, oh, so that's why Jenna came and said goodnight 4 hours ago. Huh.
Was that 4 hours ago?
I'm putting these clues together and solving this mystery of why I'm always so fucking tired.
Why am I living in the street? What
Dude.
what happened with my last 20 years of my life?
I'm putting it together. I swear. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting there.
And that
okay.
that ties directly into my ugly. So my ugly is you do that, you pull like this way too long gaming session, and you're like, I got to go to bed. And you've got that like tired, not tired brain happening because you just played video games for so long. So you go lay
Yep.
down and you fall asleep. And what do you dream about? You dream about whatever game you were just playing. And not like a story in that game for me. I dream that I'm playing that game and it's still going through my head all
Yes.
night. That is my ugly, because then you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, why was I stressed out? I was stressed out all night because I was playing
Why
this
are there
game.
monsters in my dreams? Yep.
And like you can't stop thinking about it. It's just stuck in your brain. You close your eyes and you see your little undermine guy jumping around. And you're like, I gotta change, reevaluate my life.
Aaron, do you have an?
I think
whatever.
you've said it all. You guys
Okay.
have said it all, man.
Okay. Peterson, do you have any more? I have.
I did all
Let
mine.
me
My good,
see.
my bad, and my ugly.
And there's like other 5 little
I have so
mulligans.
many. I just have a billion. But I will say one is my good, and I haven't done it good. So yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, do something positive, JD.
I'll do it good. For me, the good thing about getting sucked into games is that some games are simply better once you've allowed yourself to get sucked into them. I think games like Undermine, who gives a shit, right? Like I pause that game and stand up and walk away for an hour at a time, go do a chore or something. and I
Yeah,
don't care.
dude, I do that all the time.
Yeah, and there's so many games that are like that. Slay the Spire, games you can just walk away from and it's whatever. But games like Subnautica, games like No Man's Sky, or Outer Wilds, especially, I feel like Outer Wilds fits this bill, is the more you let yourself just get completely absorbed into that world, the better the game becomes, the more fun you have. I was telling these guys and they were laughing at me last night that when I play Subnautica, like as I'm discovering these different places, I'm putting down beacons and I'm naming them myself. I named an island. Like I'm like, this is called Ghost Island. Like I'm straight
This
up like
is called
in it. Like
Butt
I'm
Island.
exploring. Yeah, like
That's what I would name
butts,
them.
and he never knows where he's going. He's like, there's 5 butt islands.
Was I going
As we're
to
planning the episode, JD's just like living in his little aquarium. Just like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm under the water right now.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Swimming
couldn't put it down,
around.
and it was more fun the more I just let myself fall backwards into the world of the game. And I think there are tons of games that just feel better once you do that. So that does it for this. I think Peterson, you want to move on to dice, or do you want to do Dear Game Devs?
let's do Dear Game Devs because we're just under an hour right now.
Okay, let's do it.
Dear Game Devs, it's been nearly a fortnight since I last wrote. Mother is well and much has changed back on the farm, but I have just one request of you.
All right, Dear Game Devs is our segment in which we plea with all the myriad game developers to do what we want. And this week,
They usually do.
what we want.
They usually do.
Every single time, Dear Game Devs, we've run one, they've done exactly what we asked.
Just wait 6
And this
months. You
week
get an announcement for exactly what we say.
We should start doing follow-up posts when they do exactly what we were asking. I mean, we're asking so many things and we're giving out so much good advice. Sometimes it's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
But with this one, we'll keep track. We want your game developers to flip these protagonists/antagonists. Just like you've got bad Superman, dead Batman. What would be fun? And we're playing as Gollum. Gollum's the hero now. So who would be a protagonist and antagonist you'd like to see in a game? Role bendered.
I can start. So mine is not. Gosh, any Harry Potter fans are going to flip out right now. But this game is called Severus, and you play as Snape. So as you know, Snape isn't spoiler alert, he's not a bad guy, but he's not a good guy, right? You kind of hate him throughout all the books until like the end of the last one, right? And so
It's kind of a lustful person. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're kind of like, Snape is kind of a scumbag. But
Yeah.
so this is a game where you play as Severus Snape. And the perfect
Sick.
mode for this is I'm going to say it's a game similar to like a Persona type of gameplay, because the core gameplay is relationships. So you're a teacher, you're trying to manage the relationships while you're teaching classes. So for example, you don't want Harry Potter to like you because you don't want a perception that you are fighting for the good guys and fighting for Harry Potter specifically, right? For anything good to happen. So you need to treat Harry Potter like crap.
He's such a shithead.
But you can't drive. So, and you're doing this with everyone. You're managing their trust level because, as you know, Snape was.
This seems like a
turncoat.
narcissism sim.
No, but
Jesus.
because listen, you're because Snape was he was a turncoat, right? So he was acting like a turncoat for the bad guys, but he was actually on the good guys' side. So, you have to manage that, right? The only person who knows what you're doing is Dumbledore, but you need to try to get Voldemort to completely trust you by doing some bad stuff. And you also need the Order of the Phoenix, for example, to trust you by helping them out, in secret, and the Death Eaters. You need to make them not mistrust
Peterson,
what?
You are putting a Harry Potter sim on the Death Eaters part of Harry Potter. Or this is a dating sim.
Yeah. But you're trying to.
You're making a Death Eater dating sim.
No.
This is exactly what you're describing.
But there's combat to it too, just like in a Persona type of game. There's a combat aspect to it. You're going out with the Death Eaters and doing missions. You're going out with the Order of the Phoenix and doing missions. So there's a combat, like a heavy combat aspect to it. But in between combat scenarios, you're like managing these. You got to go teach a class, and you got to make the kids hate you.
Dude, forget the combat. I would love to see
you
that
want
with
the dating
with the dating part. That would be so funny because you would be it would be like helping you empathize with Snape and like what he was doing the whole time. That would be funny as hell.
I think it would be fun too to like torment the kids because I liked Harry Potter, but at the same time, it's when you really think about it, you're like, man, all these wizards are idiots. It would be fun to mess with those stupid kids. It would be so easy too, right? Just messing with them left and right, trying to get Harry to kind of trust you, but then not. Oh man, it'd be fun.
I like that. I think one protagonist that we have yet to see portrayed as bad in any game. I don't think there's any single video game in which you fight against Spider-Man.
Oh, that'd be
It's
cool.
basically the role that Venom and to a lesser extent Carnage typically serve in a video game. A Spider-Man video game is the web-slinging enemy that counters your moves with more powerful versions of them. However, I would love to fight Spider-Man, whether I'm playing as Venom in kind of a Suicide Squad, because there was the Sinister Six, of which I don't know if Venom was part of the Sinister Six.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think he was, but I think a Sinister Six video game, Vulture, Electro, Mysterio, Sandman, and Kraven. Yeah, I think if Venom was in the Sinister Six, it wouldn't be fair. But yeah, you could play as and Doc Ock. So you could play as any of these like famous villains. Doc Ock would be so fun to play in a game. Are you kidding me? You'd have all these gadgets.
Yeah.
The way your character would move around would be like Carry On. How it's like you were always in a 3D space because it naturally your arms just grab you and put you into that 3D space. I think that'd be dope. Vulture's the flying one. Electro's got awesome electronic powers. Mysterio, can you imagine how much fun it would be to play as Mysterio? Sandman would be fun for stealth missions and other things, and then Kraven the Hunter, you can just leave him off because there's problems with Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah. No, and I like that too because like going through the story, you'd be able to like because every Spider-Man villain has like has something about them where you can kind of empathize with them a little bit, Like something real crappy happened to them. That's why they're kind of bad now. How they got their abilities. They all what is it? Green Goblin, right? And Hobgoblin. They'd talk to them and be like, "Oh, I freaking hate Spider-Man, and here's why: he killed my dad or whatever." My dad was going through some stuff. He didn't even try to help. He just killed him. Whatever. And so, man, I think it would fit in this. You could portray Spider-Man as a bad guy if you sell it right.
Yeah.
I dig that.
I
Yeah.
think there are spins on this fiction. I remember seeing an episode of Batman the Animated Series where kids are sitting around retelling stories of their personal first-hand experiences with the Batman. And, in some versions of the story, he looks completely different because it's through the eyes of a kid and how a kid saw him. And so sometimes he's like a spooky, literally looks like a bat because that's what he looked like to the kid. You just kind of apply that to Spider-Man. And I think it could be cool. I think there's all sorts of stuff you could do with that. Aaron,
also, can it be Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3 Spider-Man?
There's no
So you
there's
just
no
despise
other
him even
Spider-Man.
more.
You just want to
There's
punch
no
his face.
Other Spider-Man.
You just want to punch his face so bad.
Nope. I will not hear you speak ill of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy on
You're
this
just
podcast.
strolling down the street, smug.
You've
He
seen
was strutting.
Cool.
Spider-Man
He was
3.
strutting. I've seen Spider-Man 3 more than I'm comfortable to admit.
What?
So let's just move on.
Wow.
Aaron, what?
So I was looking at what superheroes have actually turned bad in comics. There's this list of 30. Majority are from the Marvel universe, which is kind of interesting, and about more than half are from X-Men. Super weird. So at one point in time, X-Men, majority of the core X-Men have went bad, which was kind of weird. But anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. So I kind of went a little bit retro. I was thinking more of Sonic and Dr. Robotnik. So you would play as Dr. Robotnik.
Oh shit!
In
Nice.
this, because I think it would be super cool to craft and design little robots to do tasks for you. Because he's lazy. He just has robots do everything for him.
You got a robot.
So this is exactly. So this is after they had their little battle, and he's retired. Robotnik's just retired. He's sitting on the beach, just enjoying his life, and he has robot servants all over, just kind of pleasing, doing whatever he wants.
He's got one fanning him with palm fronds, right?
Yeah,
one
man,
feeding
and
him
just
grapes. No big deal.
Yep. No big deal. And then you have Sonic. Sonic just goes berserk, and he wants to destroy the planet. So
Dope.
he starts trying to create this kind of wormhole by, doing what he does. Just runs fast because he doesn't do anything else. He just runs fast.
Yeah, that's his
So,
all he's got.
so this video game, so you're creating different types of robots, and you're creating your little army to go after Sonic. So I think Dr. Robotnik just got a bad rap. I think it's time to flip the script and go after Sonic.
So the government will reach out to Robotnik, call him out of retirement, just like they did with Jim Carrey. Call him out of retirement and be like, listen, Sonic is going wild. He's destroying stuff. We can't catch him. We can't stop him. You're the only one who's ever stood up to him. You got to help us. And it's like, Robotnik is the Megamind, right? He's the hesitant hero who come out of retirement to fight the guy that used to be good.
Boom. There you go.
Dude, I'm down for it. The only other one I had is I would like a henchman simulator. So you guys are familiar in a first-person shooter, especially you're just going room to room, killing a guy, 2 guys, and you go to the next room, you kill a guy. But every once in a while, one of those assholes gets a shot off on you, and if enough of them shoot you, you die. So in this game, you take you're playing through the eyes of one of these henchmen, and this big ass MFer comes in and he's got all the guns and armor. He's super strapped, and all you have is a standard machine gun. And if you can get some shots off, great. If you die, it doesn't matter because you're immediately teleported to the next alive body in the room, and you have another shot to kill him. And then you just keep going, and as he just fights his way through the facility, you're just transporting and teleporting into these different guys until finally you can stop him. So it's like a wave shooter, but you are the wave.
Dude, I like that. I was thinking right when you said that, I was like, it became a comedy game for me.
Oh yeah, it'll be funny.
The opening sequence is the OP character coming in and just blasting everyone, and you're just like taking random pot shots, and you accidentally kill him. You, to the surprise of everyone, including yourself, you kill him, and now you get a promotion, and now you're just some idiot running the henchmen, trying to figure out how to stop the next guy. Dude.
Oh, I like that a lot.
You don't know what you're doing. It was a complete accident.
What happens to the one henchman that accidentally kills Master Chief? Like every once in a while, you're playing Halo, and one of those little stupid, one of those grunts, they throw a grenade, it stickies you, and you die. What happens to that grunt in that
He's
Halo
now a
timeline
hero
that just diverged? Yeah, he is a hero of the galaxy.
Or what if you flip it so it's a dating sim? So the henchman is secretly in love with
a dating sim.
the hero,
always has been,
and so he's trying to kill you, but you're just trying to go on a date with him.
You're like, I don't want to stop. I don't want to kill him.
You're just kind of following him around.
You're like missing all your shots on purpose. I hope he knows I'm doing this for him.
Dude, it's dating sims all the way down, guys. All the way down. Does anyone else have one? Have a good flip the script? Okay, then let's move on to dice.
Dice of Destiny.
All right, Dice of Destiny is this fun little game we play at the end of every episode. We roll a 20-sided dice with 20 different game genres assigned. We roll a 6-sided dice to see how much we can spend on a game. And then finally, we roll another dice to see who has to find a game in that genre for that price, pick it, play it, review it. Last week, I rolled a turn-based strategy. So much strategy. Oh my god. I'm actually kind of relieved that we're this will be the last strategy game any of us play for at least, I don't know, a year.
We don't have to think strategically for a year after this. It's going to be great.
Thank God. It's been hurting my brain lately. So Peterson helped me. So I had to find a turn-based strategy game under $20, and Peterson helped me find this game called Wildermyth or Wildermyth. I'm going to go with Wildermyth.
Wildermyth.
Dude, I'm glad you picked that.
Yeah. Have you seen it, Aaron?
Yeah, I bought it recently.
So this is a procedurally generated tactical RPG, and it's designed to resemble a tabletop role-playing experience in which your characters, your band of heroes, grow and develop their own stories or myths. That's the whole idea of this game, is that you build your own myth with these characters that start out as reluctant farmers and eventually become heroes. Just like any good D&D campaign, your characters undergo a bunch of character development that changes them, and is persistent throughout the game, and that's what this is trying to emulate. The art style looks like hand-drawn. Is that correct, Peterson?
Yeah,
sure as hell looks hand-drawn.
And it looks like cardboard cutouts on a board or something.
Yes, on like a grid board is the combat. Mm-hmm. And then like there's obviously the RPG elements of like traveling around and talking to people, and it looks so unlike anything I've ever played. I thought it would make me just uncomfortable enough that I would enjoy it, because it's so out there. And every time I try a completely out there genre I've never touched before, I generally just fall in love. So I don't know what this is. I don't know what genre is. This is they couldn't even put enough genres in the first sentence. It's character-driven, procedurally generated tactical RPG, tabletop, just everything. It's just like a bunch of stuff, and it's just kind of a weird blend of a game. And it's
Fun
an indie
fact:
game.
when they were developing it, they were rolling the dice for Dice of Destiny. They picked 5 genres and made a game that matched into that.
Shoved them all together. They just stuffed them all together.
That needs to be our new
it-
segment. That needs our new Dear Game Devs and Dice of Destiny mashup.
Just what you're stuffing,
Random
what games
roll.
you're stuffing, random
I like
roll. So it's in early access now. It's a cute little indie team. I don't even know who they are, but if it's an indie, you know I'm in. So I will be, hopefully, I might have a review. No, I won't. I will not have a review for this game by next week, but I will have a review the next week. I'll have a first impression rose for next week.
Appreciate your
That's
honesty.
Wildermyth. Dude, I'm
Like,
I'm
I
gonna be
got no
gone.
time.
I'm gonna be gone 4 days this
Yeah.
weekend, and there's no way I am.
4 days
PC.
under the water. He's going to be playing some
Yep.
Nautica.
Yep, I booked out like a straight 84 hours. Like we're just going for it, man. Okay, well that does it for us this week. To play us out, we have some music, like Aaron told you already, from Subnautica, which is at times very cute and at times very terrifying. Most times it's just terrifying.
JD's very scared.
And
of
then
this
the
game,
cute
you
music
guys.
becomes terrifying. Dude, honestly, the most scared I've been in a game maybe ever that wasn't trying to scare me deliberately. I feel like it's not trying, it's just scared.
It just is.
It's just doing it. All right, guys, I'm JD logging off.
This is Peterson going AFK.
Aaron rolling out.
Peterson Productions. Oh yeah.
And just for the fun of it, let's listen to JD try to say Dia de los Muertos again.
Dia de los Muertos. Dia de los Muertos.